So when it comes to designing your graphical schema, you really need to think about the client's perspective first. What kind of data are they expecting? How can we make sure that every query returns exactly what they want without overfetching?
Yeah, I've noticed sometimes queries return too much data, which slows things down.
Exactly. That's why you should use interfaces and unions effectively. They help with organizing types and making your schema cleaner. Also, consider adding directives for performance optimization like @skip or @include. It makes the API more flexible and efficient.
That sounds useful, especially with complex schemas.
Definitely. And don't forget about input objects. They're great for grouping related fields together so your mutations become clearer and easier to manage. For example, instead of passing a bunch of individual arguments, you pass an object type that groups all those fields.
Makes sense. Simplifies things a lot.
Absolutely. Another thing is to be mindful of nested queries. While they offer flexibility, deep nesting can lead to inefficiencies and even performance issues if not handled properly. You might want to set some limits on how deep someone can nest their queries.
Got it. Limits would definitely help control misuse.
Right. And speaking of misuses, have you seen any cases where people try to bypass security through overly complex queries? I've heard stories about folks trying to exploit GraphQL endpoints in creative ways.
Oh yeah, that could be tricky. Probably need strict validation then.
Yes, absolutely. Validation is key here. You also want to implement rate limiting to prevent abuse and ensure fair usage across all clients. Plus, using tools like Apollo Engine can give you insights into how your API is being used and optimize accordingly.
Tools like that must come in handy for monitoring and tuning the API.
They do indeed. And remember, documentation is crucial too. Make sure your schema is well documented so anyone using it knows exactly what they're working with. This reduces confusion and helps maintain consistency across different parts of the project.
Clear docs definitely help new team members get up to speed quickly.
True. Lastly, keep an eye on the future updates from the GraphQL community, because there are always improvements and best practices evolving over time.
Staying updated sounds important.
Speaking of keeping things efficient, let's talk about optimizing queries with fragments and variables. Fragments are such a game changer for reusability and organization in large projects.
Definitely. They help avoid redundancy and keep the code clean.
Exactly. Fragments allow you to define a set of fields that you can reuse across multiple operations. It's like having a template for your queries, which makes your schema more modular and easier to manage. Plus, it reduces the chance of errors since you're not repeating yourself.
Reusing fragments does seem like a smart way to handle common sets of fields.
Agreed. And variables are another essential part of this. They enable you to write flexible queries that can be executed with different values each time. This is super useful for dynamic content where the data might change frequently, but the structure remains the same.
Variables make the queries more versatile and adaptable.
Absolutely. Using variables can also improve performance because it allows the GraphQL server to cache query results based on variable inputs. This means if someone runs the same query with the same variables again, the server doesn't have to do all the work over. It just returns the cached result.
Catching sounds like a big win for performance optimization.
It really is. And combining fragments and variables lets you create powerful yet simple queries. For instance, imagine you have a fragment for user details, and you use variables to filter users by certain criteria. The combination ensures both flexibility and efficiency in your queries.
Combining them seems like a robust approach to handling varied data requests.
Indeed. It's all about striking that balance between functionality and performance while maintaining clean and readable code.
Sounds like a solid strategy for building scalable applications.
Moving on to another crucial aspect, implementing pagination in GraphQL queries effectively. Pagination is a must-have feature for handling large datasets without overwhelming the client or server.
Definitely, it helps manage data efficiently and improves performance.
Exactly. One effective way to implement pagination is by using cursors instead of traditional offset-based pagination. Cursors provide a more reliable and performant way to navigate through data, especially when dealing with real-time updates or frequent changes in the dataset.
Cursors sound like they would handle dynamic data better.
They do. With cursor-based pagination, each item in your list has a unique identifier that points to its position in the sequence. When you fetch the next page, you use these identifiers to request the correct slice of data. This avoids issues like dangling pointers that can occur with offsets.
Using unique identifiers makes sense for maintaining consistency.
Absolutely. Another approach is to use relay-style connections, which include edges, nodes, and connection metadata like has next page and end cursor. This gives you a lot of flexibility and provides clear indicators about the state of your pagination.
Relay-style connections seem comprehensive and useful.
They are. And don't forget about batched queries. If you're fetching paginated data alongside other related resources, batching those requests can significantly reduce the number of round trips to the server and speed up your application.
Batched queries could definitely streamline multiple requests.
Right. Additionally, consider caching strategies for paginated results. Since many users might be viewing similar pages at once, leveraging browser or server-side caching can drastically improve load times and reduce server load.
Caching would definitely help with repeated access to similar pages.
Exactly. It's all about making sure that no matter how big your dataset gets, your users still have a smooth and responsive experience.